Hello fellow crafters, my name is Yaneli. I am the owner of Ali's Crafty Co on Etsy. I sell digital files, including Tumbler templates. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get is how to use these templates. And most often I get this question from Cricut Design Space users. Unfortunately, Cricut's printing capability is limited to a size. I do believe it's a 6.25 by 9.75 if I'm not mistaken. But unfortunately, when you're using a Tumbler template, these tend to be larger than that. So we run into that issue. And so I have created this tutorial in the hopes to help somebody out there who is wanting to use these types of templates. Now, this is my very first tutorial, so I do ask that you all bear with me. I will go ahead and try to make this as simple and as short as possible. Now let's go ahead and get started. So the program that I'm using here today is called Inkscape. It is a free program, so if you would like to download that, it is the free download. The first thing that we're going to do is set our document properties by going to File, Document Properties. The display unit should be set to inches, and you would be selecting whatever paper size you're using. In this case, I'll be using letter size and setting that to landscape. Now, the reason why I'm setting this to inches is because our templates are sometimes normally set to inches, so it'll make things simpler for us. Now, I've gone ahead and prepared those images that we'll be using. In this case, it's the image we'll be cropping. We're going to keep those default settings. And then we're also going to drag in our SVG template here, and we will be keeping those settings as well. Now, wherever you purchase your template from should be indicating the dimensions that you would be using for the template if it doesn't automatically upload with the correct settings already. So in this case, we're being asked to ungroup and set size. So we're going to go ahead and go to Object, Ungroup. Now we are going to move this out of the way here and make sure that our template is set to the size that is being indicated. In this case, we just need to change it by a little bit. Once you've done that and you have your image ready, you would scale your image to your preference, and you would be setting your template over the image depending on what portion of your image you want to set. Now, once you've done that, you select both your image and your template by dragging over both of them, right-clicking, and going to Set Clip. And this is automatically going to crop your image into that template. Now, we're going to just make sure that the dimensions didn't change, which in this case it did by just a bit, so we'll adjust that again. And we're ready to move on. You can now go ahead and delete the indications if you'd like. Okay, so one thing that I do recommend that you do just to maximize the usage of your paper would be to select your image, go up here to Align and Distribute. If your relative to is not already set to page, you would change that to page. You would align vertically and horizontally. This is just useful to maximize the paper that you're using as far as printing goes. Okay, so at this point, you can do a couple of things. You can go to File, Print, and print directly. Set your printer settings like you would normally. We're going to cancel for now. You can also save the image automatically as an Inkscape SVG file, or you can go ahead and save it as a file format that normally you can open anywhere else. In this case, I typically go for PDF. We're going to save that to our desktop, leave the same file name, and we'll be leaving those same format settings. Now, one more thing that you can do that I find useful is go to File, Export PNG Image. you're going to select your image, go down here to export PNG. Automatically your export area is going to be set to selection. You're going to go to export as, and we're going to export to our desktop. We're going to leave the same file name, and we're going to save. Now, just because you've done that doesn't mean that it automatically saved. You do have to take that extra step of going to click on export. That'll bring up a separate window here, export in progress. Once that is done, you can just check your file to make sure that it was saved properly. In this case, we've gone ahead and saved it as a PDF that you can open and print later. And you've also gone ahead and exported it as a PNG file with a transparent background. Now with this image, you can always open it on other programs like Microsoft Word, Google Docs, as well as Silhouette Studio if you're a Silhouette user, and you can print from there. And so that concludes this tutorial. I hope this was helpful to someone out there. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'll try my best to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And thank you for watching.